Hey guys, Manoj and Phil here again. So here we are with our weekly, a little bit of longer session. So hopefully we'll be able to answer more questions, have more interactions with you, and bring you some more updates. Uh, I'm sorry we got a little bit of a late start. We had some technical difficulties, some
Yeah.
challenges to deal with. Phil, you wanna?
Yeah, my Wi-Fi went off at the worst possible time. So
Mm,
hopefully it's fixed now, but there we go.
yeah.
The joys of working from home.
Yeah. All right, great. Um, so what is going on around the world? See, the thing is, every country is on a different trajectory. The good news is a lot of countries are relaxing the restrictions. They are opening up their economies, so that's a very good news.
Mm-hmm.
Going on China, where everything started, I think life is coming back to normal there. Everybody is sort of driving around and the government is still taking precautions. In some European countries, I think they have opened up public places and people are going there, still taking precautions.
Mm.
That means, it's just a matter of time as some of the countries, India, US, Canada, we are about 2 to 3 weeks behind. I think UK is how much, like 2 weeks behind?
Yeah, so we've been told so far. I mean, this is all speculation, but the English Football League have been told that they can't commence training until the earliest, the 16th of May, which
Mm.
would suggest that they're not anticipating sort of everybody out and about before then.
Yeah. So I mean, 30th of April is a deadline, anyways. Pretty much in most
Same
countries,
here. Mm.
we can expect an extension of 2 to 3 weeks, just on a for caution.
Mm-hmm.
So it will put us right in the middle of May. I mean, that sort of sounds about right. And hopefully by then, if everything is taken care of, they are working on vaccines and stuff like that. So we are perhaps sort of in the worst peak period now,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully now it will start to improve. The situation will start to improve. The next challenge will be the economic fallout, because so far all the governments have been dealing with what is going on, handling,
Mm-hmm.
making sure that we have least number of deaths and least number of people getting sick. So once this
Mm.
is over, people, the government will start focusing on how to deal with the economic fallout of this, right?
Well, the problem that the government are going to have is that it affects everybody.
Mhm.
You know, it affects the large businesses, it affects the independent, it affects the people who work for companies. I mean, I was reading just earlier that six of the directors, including two of the presidents from Barcelona Football Club, have resigned because of how poorly the president is managing this and the damage they think is going to be done to the club. Now, they run with some quite significant debt anyway, but going into this period, I mean, these are some of the world's highest paid players, and I think they've taken a 70% pay cut. So
Yeah.
this kind of gives you an idea of, just how much trouble they're in as a club, and they're huge. So if you start thinking about small organizations, mom and pop businesses, it's no wonder that people are worried. But hopefully we can give you something within the next 30, 40 minutes or so that you can take. It can be actionable. I did say I was going to go through the LinkedIn thing with you today, so hopefully without any technical issues, I'll share my screen with you and give you a bit of a whirl about that. But maybe at the end, when you're ready, Manoj.
Yeah. So this whole thing about some of the industries suffering quite a bit. How this will play out, we don't know. But
Mm,
the fact of the matter is that we are just going through a transition, and when I talk to people who are way more experienced and smarter than I am, basically what they're saying is, the whole spectrum of skill sets that are needed may change, right? So data analytics will become even more important. It's already important, but it will become even more important. Things like where healthcare or health tech will become more important as people pay more attention to healthcare. Anything to do with remote working, facilitating workflows, facilitating communications, plugins for Slack, these type of things will become more popular. So try to observe the society, how it evolves, right?
Mhm.
Because as the society evolves, there's going to be new problems that will surface, and that's where you will be able to interject and present your solutions and get rapid progress. Because when see, the thing is, when everybody's running for the door, and there is only little space, if you create another door in the wall, you'll have so many more customers just by being there, right? So what you really need to do is see which way people are going and help them get there faster, and you will
Absolutely.
have a lot of customers very quickly. So this is the time to really not panic, because you will not be able to observe. If you panic, you will not be able to observe what is happening. So you need
Mm.
to calm down. You need to just sort of relax and continue to see how the situation evolves. Continue to have more and more conversations. Even if you are shy, don't want to have conversations, observe what people are talking about, what kind of problems they are talking about.
Mhm.
And in fact, if you can, do have these conversations with your friends and associates and your customers or potential clients. Hey, how are you dealing with this crisis? What are your plans? What are some of the steps you're taking? What are the challenges you're facing while implementing those steps? Because those are the things that you can help with.
Correct.
Yeah.
Look, I think it's about taking a step back and realizing that whilst most people will try to be good, they will always take care of themselves, their family, their business first, and then take care of other people. Obviously, there are some exceptions to that. Very good people out there, but you have to realize that that's how the vast majority of people think. So package your offer and solution accordingly. It's no longer, we've said this before, it's no longer about your job title. It's about the solution that you can provide with that skill set.
Yeah. So once you have determined that this is the area that you want to focus on, this is your expertise. So remember, a few days ago we drew these three circles. So your expertise, what is the demand, what do you enjoy most, and then you find the combination of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once you have determined that, now you need to start figuring out, okay, who do you want to target? Let's say you say, okay, I want to focus on data analytics, and I want to go into health tech. It is still kind of too broad. So you can say, okay, you know what? I want to focus on local dentists, or local chiropractors, or local mental health experts. Because right now, after the isolation period is over, a lot of people are going to have mental health challenges. So you may
Mm-hmm.
want to focus on that. Whatever that area is, try to narrow it down. The fact is that a lot of people make this mistake of saying, I can help everyone. I can go broad, which is the very opposite of what you should be doing in marketing. You really need to focus on specific group of people. You really don't need more than maybe even 10, 20 clients to do really well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you start talking to 1,000 people, maybe talking about different things, thinking about different things, it's very difficult to talk to 1,000 people. But if you narrow it down and talk to like 50 people, 100 people, then you can be very sharp in your messaging. You can be very proactive in understanding exactly what they need and give them
Mm-hmm.
the solution exactly how they need it, right? In the budget that they need it and whatnot. So try to think about these things, and also observe how other companies do this. Like, take for example, the soap that you're using. They have a specific niche they are targeting, and they only focus on the benefits of that niche. Like, if the soap is for guys, they'll talk about body odor and blah blah blah. But if the soap is meant for a girl, they'll talk about beauty and how it can enhance looks and all that, right?
That's why
So
they're always washing their hair in the middle of a rainforest
exactly.
under
So
a waterfall.
these are the subtle things, practical things. You can see how these large companies, they implement these things in their product lines, in their advertising, and you can start to pick up some clues. Obviously, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying you are a soap company or whatever, but this is all the observation that you can make in the real world and take inspiration from that and understand how the world works, right?
There you go. Some questions.
Okay, so Android tutorial. See, Gotham here. here we are talking about the world shifting many degrees. Okay, and this is the thing where people are not realizing, and we are trying to put you ahead of the curve, and you are trying to go back to the way that it used to be.
The safety of the title.
Yeah, Android tutorial, you will have enough of them. Don't even worry about that, right? But that is not going to move the needle for you. If you're impatient, we have an offer for you. Like we have about 75 courses you can enroll in right now. You'll have Android and all that stuff. Happy to share that. But if you learn Android, what next? What are you going to do with that, right? Like if you love Android as a hobby, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. But what is the next step after learning Android? How do you want to monetize that skill? Are you going to look for a job? Are you going to look for a contract? And that's what we are talking about, to enable you to not only get the skills, but help you monetize those skills, right?
Definitely. Absolutely. Yeah. Look, I keep saying it almost in every broadcast that we do now. It's not about the things that you don't have. It's about the things that you do. You need to be taking action with the things that you already know, because someone somewhere requires the skill set that's in your head.
Yeah. So focus on how things are going to transpire. So let me again try to clarify this situation, right? So most of the major world airlines in the world, they are grounded for almost a month. So what that will do is almost maybe 50% of the airlines are in a danger of going out of business, because they are heavily leveraged. They are heavy debt-ridden industries. So when they go out of business, there's going to be a ripple effect. International travel is hindered. Hotel chains will be affected. Restaurants will be affected. So you can see the economy overall start to get affected from the top down, right? And if there is no employment, there is no demand either. So supply goes down, demand goes down, and it's a nightmare scenario. So this is what we are trying to prepare you for. And Android and all that, yes, these are the core skills you will need. But more important than that, you need to recognize how to talk to people, how to interact with people, because right now the job or the contract that you're looking for, Android job, just in a matter of weeks, there's going to be 1,000 more people looking for the same thing.
Of course.
Right? Yeah,
absolutely. Look, I mean, and I guess that's what the Facebook thing, the LinkedIn jobs thing I'm going to show you shortly is all about. It's about exactly how you identify those opportunities and spotting where they are, because there's no use us just saying to you, oh, there's opportunities abroad, but not showing you a tangible way of actually being able to find them. And you might be able to find a job. You might be able to find, I don't know, a market that's in desperate need. You might find that because Singapore is doing everything it can to rival Hong Kong for the financial district, that actually they're really struggling for whatever your skill set is within fintech, for example. Yeah. So there's loads of ways that we can find this out, and loads of things that we could do with that. Just before we move on to it, does anybody have any other questions?
So questions are, what are the future plans? So we talked about the future plans from Slide Nerd. I mean, there's going to be lots of content coming. How should we prepare ourselves to get remote job abroad? I mean, that is the whole program is all about. So stay, Yogesh, stay with us. Bring your friends into the Facebook group. And that's exactly what we will be talking about.
Yeah, if you're not already in the Facebook group, definitely make your way over there, because that's where all this stuff will be.
Okay. So which are niche and high demand for 2021 to 2030? Okay. Well, I mean, as I said, data analytics will be good. And here's the thing, like, I wish we had a crystal ball. What we are saying is, okay, as of today, health technology will be really awesome. Data analytics will be really awesome. Anything to do with remote work, enabling communication will be really awesome. That's what we know based on the situation today. Now, tomorrow, something else happens, then we will have additional input for you.
I mean, I'm a bit biased because obviously this is my field as well, but I always say to have a good look around data science in terms of machine learning, both the analytics, artificial intelligence, and all the kind of stuff that goes with that. Maybe try and get your head around TensorFlow if you already know a couple of languages, just so you have some understanding of how that works, because ultimately what a lot of businesses have right now, as well as a crisis, is a hell of a lot of data. And in that data lies the answer to many of their problems and solutions. So anybody who can provide that insight, I mean, the two things that you really need for that is a good eye for the data to understand what it's doing, and an ability to be able to simplify your pitch when talking about that data. It's being able to take something extremely complex and say, you need to be spending more money in that region because of this, this, and this.
Yeah. And I will share a little bit of an advanced concept here. So if you can wrap your head around that, basically think about a business, think about your situation, right? As human beings, let's face it, we are somewhat selfish. So what we think about is three things. Okay, primarily, how can I make more money? How can I save more money? How can I save my time? These are the three things we talk about. So when you observe any of your employers or any clients, whatever, think about, okay, they are at the end of the day, whatever they're doing in their life, it's about these three things. So how can I make it more easier for them to achieve these three goals, right? Either I can help them make more money, or I can help them save money, or I can help them save time.
Yes. Put that question up because I'll answer that.
Yeah.
See if you can click on that. Okay, so yes, it can. So I'll tell you exactly how I do this, okay? Because at the it used to be me and the team. Now we have an outsourced team that do this for us. But yeah, it works really well. So we have a VoIP number that we purchased through Skype. I mean, it's as simple as that. I think I pay £12 a month. I have absolutely no idea what that is in your currency. But I pay £12 a month and I get the worldwide unlimited package that gives me unlimited minutes and calls to loads of mobiles and almost every country's landlines in the world. So when you're calling businesses, it's really simple, really easy to do. I tend to send an email the day before just to give them a bit of a heads up that the call's coming and give them a bit of an outline as to why. I'll also give them the option to book a call with me directly if there's a preferred time. If not, I'll just try and catch them on the phone. That is a great way of doing it. And in fact, when I go through this LinkedIn job thing with you in a minute, you'll be able to start making a list for yourself of maybe a top 10 companies. This is what I do. Top 10 companies that you'd love to do this for. Read the descriptions, see what's going on, see what the problem is, and then go and pitch them the solution. Send them a quick email. I've seen you have this problem. I can provide this solution. I'll give you a call tomorrow and see whether I can help you out. Yeah. Be consistent. Jump on the call the next day. The worst that can happen is they say no.
Yeah. And before we get, and this is what we are talking about, guys, right? Like we will share with you what works, what doesn't work. We'll share with you what are the prerequisites, because I mean, you can say, okay, I'm going to start calling US companies. Where are you going to get the numbers from? How are you going to communicate with them? How are you going to follow up with them? How are you going to pitch? People are.
What are you pitching?
Yeah, what are you pitching? Like people are okay. So let's say if somebody called you right now and offered a car loan or something like that, what kind of response will you give them? Because you are in a different state of mind, right? You are worried about your job, and somebody's calling you about a loan. I don't think that's gonna really fit well. So these are the things you need to understand. Okay, who is on the other side of the call? What are they thinking about? How can I help them so that they will listen to me?
There's another question there just above that question. If you could click on that one as well. Yes, it can. So both of us have done it. I was explaining my story the other night. I actually started my business whilst I was working full time. My intention was, when I was earning more money from my freelancing business than I was earning from my salary, that I would leave. And that's exactly what I did. That was 6 or 7 years ago now, and I've been doing it ever since. I actually now don't think I could ever go back into employment anymore. I think that would feel too risky. My mentality has changed far too much now. It's firmly, if you have one job, a board level within Talent, I've seen how many people have been made redundant. I'm looking at it now, how many people just lose their job like that and it's finished. At least when you're a freelancer, you can put eggs in multiple baskets and spread your risk. So for me, being a freelancer is far safer than any salary position.
But you need to be confident enough in your ability to go out there and get the word. So it's like a as an extreme example, it's a hunter-gatherer sort of a mentality where you are so confident in your ability that you know that no matter what the conditions are out there, you can go out there and hunt for yourself, right?
Yeah.
And that's a really good feeling to be, to have that self reliance on in your own ability. That's pretty good.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more.
You want to take over and share your?
Yeah, man. Let's do the screen. Let me do this. Hang on. I should be able to do it this way. Open system preferences. Till I haven't done it on here before. Right. So. 1 second. Sorry.
Yeah.
See, this is the technical stuff that you love. It's making me enter my password so that we can access my screen. At least we know it's secure. In fact, you know what, Manoj, I've got an idea. It's not going to let me do it on my screen. It says I have to leave and then come back. So can we do it on your screen? I'll talk you through it. It's really simple.
Sure. Let me go. Yeah,
that might work even better, because if I'm explaining to you how to do it, then other people can watch the video back and follow it along.
Yeah.
So just go to LinkedIn and then go to the jobs page.
Yeah. So just search
just at the top there in the middle, there's a suitcase that says jobs on the top home bar next to home, network, and then jobs.
Okay.
There we go. So this interface alone is pretty cool. Okay, so go to the top there where you've got PHP, and what I want you to type in for me just to start with is in quotation marks type Android, and then space and in capitals. Space again, and then in quotation marks again, do bracket, open bracket, quotation marks, and then do developer or development, close bracket.
Like that?
No. Sorry. So Android and developer or development. Hang on, I'll show you. Let's do this, guys. See, this is the joy of doing this live, especially when the internet decides it's not going to work for me.
How about this now? Developer and... Is this what you want?
Let's have a look. Yes, perfect. Okay, so then go to Canada and type in worldwide.
And hey, by the way, there is a remote as well.
There is a remote section as well. You should definitely check that out. There's not as many jobs on there at the moment, but I'm pretty confident there will be moving forward. It's your Boolean search. Just take out the searches, so you've just got both. So we're basically looking for Android and developer or development. I'll share my Boolean searches with you so that you can edit these. I'll drop them in the group as well.
Okay, let's just try to keep it simple for now. Yeah, you can show the Boolean searches. There we go. All right, so we have some searches, some results.
Perfect. So what we've got here is, if you see at the top, you've got all those little tabs there, and then you've got loads more in all filters, okay? But just for now, just go to experience level. And then tick associate or mid-level, or both. Tick both. So associate and mid-level. So this is somebody who's probably got 3 to 5 years post-qualification experience. Okay. Go to date posted and just do within the last couple of weeks. How many are we looking at so far?
2,000.
Right. Okay. So go to all filters.
And by the way, I have literally 5 minutes, so let's try to...
So as you can see from this list here, this is where it starts to get pretty juicy. So what I would do is right at the top of this page here, you've got type of applicants. So I'd search for under 10 applicants. This is the way I do it and try and spot pain points for industries. Do you see that under remote? Just click that and then go back. And then do me a favor and just go back in again to all filters. Okay. So what you've done here now, if you scroll down, you can see job titles, you can see locations, you can see companies. You're really starting to see where these things come together because they're clustered in jobs. You'll see companies that are trying to recruit numerous of these people because they're really struggling to find them. these are exactly the kind of people, depending on your skill set, that you should be finding out about and contacting and saying, hey, listen, I have this is a skill set that I have, this is a solution that I can provide. Because if they're advertising the role numerous times, they're in serious pain and they can't find it. You can always choose the type of role that you're looking for as well, whether you're looking for something full-time, whether you're looking for something just temporary or a contract role. There's loads you can do on here. Manoj, if you go back and click apply again and go back to the actual jobs as well, as you see at the top, there's always a little bit of a description about the company. Now, for me, I tend to like working with SMEs and small businesses. And the reason for that is they tend to be able to make a decision quite quickly, and they tend to be a lot more flexible than larger businesses as well. So try and aim for people that I would say employ between maybe 50 and 1,000, and just go through the jobs that you have now, because you've not got them too bad. If you want to be really clever, I used to do it by sort by and then sort by oldest, and then sort by newest, and then I'd go right to the very last page, so page 10, page 11, and I'd work my way forward. And the reason for that is, if there's a job out there that's got less than 10 applicants and it's been out for about a month, they're in a serious amount of pain and in a good place for you to have a conversation. If you contact the ones that are too new, you might have some success, or what you might be told is, we've just put an advert out, let's see what we get back and we'll let you know. And then it's all about playing the waiting game and chase and all that kind of stuff. So I would definitely recommend having a play with that. I will put some of my Boolean searches in the Facebook group. That's what I'll do. I'll drop them in the comments afterwards so that you can just take them for your skill set and put them in, because there's also a clever way of being able to, using the Boolean search and not remove a lot of recruitment and staffing agencies from here as well, so that you're literally just looking at prospective clients or employers.
Cool. All right. Well, this was great. So we will drop these Boolean searches in the Facebook group. Check it out and bring your friends as well into the group, and we will continue to bring you more information as we get it. Continue to provide more guidance. I hope you keep safe and healthy, and join us when next is Monday.
Yeah, next Monday. Well, have a lovely weekend. I don't even know what day it is. Yeah. Have a lovely weekend. It's Easter Friday. Have an incredible Easter weekend if you're doing anything. I tried to get some Easter eggs. I know it's not the end of the world, but I tried to get some Easter eggs in the house. My God, what a palaver that was, and an unsuccessful one. So if anybody has any Easter eggs, let me know. I'll do a trade.
Awesome. Great. See you guys. Have a great weekend ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care of yourself, guys. Take care of each other, and we'll see you next week.